Good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm looking at Psalm 19. I've been thinking the last 2 or 3 days about the enormous importance of the Word of God, of the Bible. We are such a privileged people to have the Bible in our hands, that we can read whenever we want to, without fear of persecution or being arrested. As I said the other day, in North Korea, it's not permitted to have a Bible or any portion of a Bible. And if someone is found to have a portion of the Bible, they are executed or put into prison. We are so privileged. We don't have any restrictions on our use of the Bible. And we value it as a result very lightly. And we should value it more. The psalmist, David, of course, in Psalm 19 says of the law of the Lord, more to be desired, the laws or the ordinances of the Lord, more to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold, sweeter also than honey, and drippings from the honeycomb. That's verse 10 of Psalm 19. The whole psalm is beautiful. Begins telling us about God creating the heavens, and how the heavens and the stars and the galaxies and the night and day and the sun and moon, how they speak all the time to everyone about the glory of God and how amazing his creation is. And most people would not deny that the galaxies, the heavens, the wonder of the night sky is beyond our comprehension. The sizes and distances and numbers are just immense. And then he goes on in verse 7 to say, the law of the Lord is perfect, reviving the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The ordinances of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and drippings of the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. David didn't have huge parts of the Old Testament, and certainly all of the New Testament. He didn't have them to read. All he had were the early books of Moses that he could read and listen to. And he found them enlightening and wonderful and helpful, that he was warned by them what was right and what was wrong, and that studying them and thinking about them was more precious than gold and sweeter than honey. I think my thought for the day really today is, how much value do I put on the Bible? Is it the most important book in your library? Is it the book you turn to for advice? Is it the book you listen to? Is it important? How important is it? How do you value it? Well, have a think about this. If you're one of those people who think, well, most of the time I don't know what I should do. I don't know how I should approach a certain situation. I don't know what I should say. Well, the testimony of the Lord makes wise the simple. That's what it says in verse 7. There's wisdom in these pages, great wisdom. We don't have to learn how to live by making mistakes. We can read the mistakes made by others and see what happened to them and be warned not to do it. We don't have to learn it for ourselves. It's a strange thing. It almost seems every generation wants to try out what the previous generation tried. and then they find out for themselves that it wasn't a good thing to do. It's very hard. We seem to find it very hard to learn from someone else's mistakes. We seem to despise the wisdom of the older people because, then they're past it. They've forgotten what it was like to be young. There's a lot of wisdom in the scriptures, and we don't have to learn everything for ourselves, to experience everything for ourselves. We can look at what happened to others. We can read words of wisdom. Advice. There's a great deal of very, very good advice in this book, particularly in Proverbs. It's a book to read in sort of short chunks, because there's almost every verse has a proverb, a moral saying, a good, helpful hint. But it starts with honouring the Lord, fearing the Lord. Not fear in the sense of, I daren't approach God, I'm too afraid of him. But from the point of view of awesomeness. God is awesome. But this awesome God who created all of the universe and all of the stars has invited us to come to him through Jesus and be in his family. It's the most amazing story. And it's here in this book, how God spent centuries trying to show people what he was really like, trying to bring them from primitive beliefs through to a personal knowledge of him. And it's all here in this amazing book. Let's have a think today. How important is this book in my life? What value do I place on it and the words in it? Do I just read them and then ignore them, do my own thing anyway? That's dangerous. By them, that's by the words in this book, thy servant is warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. Have a great day. I hope you get to fellowship with someone today in a church somewhere or online, and that God will bless you and walk with you today as you follow him. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.